Hey guys, it's Scott Garlis at Stansberry Research. I'm here at the 2017 Alliance Conference in Las Vegas, and I have with me Dan Ferris, editor of Extreme Value. Dan, thanks for being here, man.
Hey Scott, good to be here.
How are you today?
I'm real good.
Glad to hear it. What are your thoughts on bond market valuations right now?
The bond market, taken in the aggregate throughout the world today, is at its single most expensive level by at least one measure I know of that was recently published by Deutsche Bank, going back to 1800. So
scary.
It's as expensive as it gets. It's well into like maybe it's north of the 90th percentile, where the 100th is the most expensive it can possibly be. So the bond market is, in fact, in my opinion, the single most overvalued financial market in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And what about stock market valuations right now?
Different in different countries, but overall, again, extremely expensive taken in the aggregate. In the U.S., stocks have literally only been more expensive than this once. 1 week in March, the week of March 24th, 2000, at the very top of the most expensive moment in history. So,
fair.
Taken in the aggregate, again, really expensive.
And then thoughts on the state of value investing right now?
Okay. I believe that we may be coming into a time, and I think it may have already begun, we may be coming into a time which I would call the golden age of value investing. And I'll tell you why that is. If you look at growth and value strategies, buying stocks that grow really fast, sort of high-flying tech companies and things like that, versus value stocks, and you can measure this with growth and value indexes. You just pit those two against each other, and growth, of course, vastly outperformed value in the dot-com era, okay? Then that crashed and people got really scared of those stocks, so they wanted to buy things like mining and home building and banks and mortgages and things that seemed really safe. Well, those things seemed so safe that financial innovation kicked in and turned them into toxic waste and turned them into highly levered toxic waste. So they crashed and created the biggest financial crisis since the Great Depression in the United States. Then, from that point on, growth took over again. So growth kind of bottomed out, growth and value both kind of bottomed out in 2009, and growth has outperformed value since then. Well, what happens next? It's a simple tick-tock of history, isn't it? So right now, everybody is very optimistic. All the sentiment indicators are showing great optimism among investors. And they want to buy the stuff they buy when they're very optimistic. They want to buy new technologies, and they want to buy electric car companies, and they want to buy social media companies, and Amazon, and Amazon, Facebook, NVIDIA, all kinds of stuff like that. And all that stuff is pretty expensive. So in the future, I won't say when because I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but maybe in the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, I think we're going to see the worm turn. And in fact, I think value is already starting to come back. The mining sector was crushed, and there is excellent value there right now, right this minute as we speak. More recently, the retail sector has been crushed, and there's excellent value right there, right now as we speak. So, I can't tell you exactly. It's not like these things start and stop on a dime. But the trend of what I'm calling the golden age of value investing, I think it really has begun. I really do.
So maybe a couple of these sectors, if people aren't involved, maybe they should look to start nibbling right now and really start to go deep and read up and learn more about these companies. Because
Sure.
Retail sector, for instance.
Yeah, retail, people hate retail.
Yep.
We've had the retail apocalypse. I was doing research for my presentation, so I wanted to look around, get some stories, just do a little basic research. And I was going to type retail sector or retail stocks or something into Google. And I didn't even finish typing the word retail, and retail apocalypse came right up. And it was just article after article after article about store closings and how Amazon is destroying everyone's business. But that's not completely true. That's not completely true. In fact, it's not really true, for example, for the clothing companies. If you look at how much Amazon's apparel revenues have grown, And you look how much the fast fashion industry has grown, like H&M and Zara and those companies. Forever 21 is another one. They have taken more away from the other apparel companies than Amazon has. So, you know, it's not always Amazon. Amazon is not the singular smoking gun to every, you know, retail disaster.
I guess Amazon's just an easy thing to blame.
It is. It's very easy.
Very interesting data point, because we're looking at the markets all the time and have not read anything like that about Forever 21. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are not talking about those things.
Yeah. We wrote about it a couple months ago in Extreme Value.
And then, what scares you more, North Korea or the Fed?
Great question. This question is deeper than it sounds. Neither one of those two really scare me very much. But I think the Fed has more to do with financial market valuations than North Korea, so put it that way. But the question really speaks to the probabilistic landscape. And people routinely get this wrong because they watch way too much news. And you know, the news inspires you to be scared to death of North Korea, when you should probably be more scared of dying in a car accident, you know, right up the street from your house, that sort of thing. So, you know, not particularly scared of either one, more scared of the Fed, a little bit.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, Scott, you bet, anytime.
Certainly. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more updates. Have a good day. If you liked what you heard today, stay tuned for future videos. Also, please download our app from the App Store so you don't miss out on another update.